Get in. Oh. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you all had a fantastic Wednesday evening. Hope you all had a good day. Hope you all had a good first week in December. And I hope you're all looking forward to the rest of this week as well as this weekend coming up as well. First of all, do me a massive favour, mate. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to remember to put the notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023. In the last 2 days remaining of this year on United Red Devils 20, we've got more Fortnite coming up, more EA Sports FC 24, more Rocket League, more previews, more match reactions, more Fall Guys, more F1 23, more exclusive Christmas bonus content, and much more brand new stuff planned for the last few remaining days and the last few remaining weeks in this year. Good evening to everybody and welcome to your Premier League reaction between Chelsea and Manchester United at Old Trafford this evening on match day 15 of the 23-24 Premier League season, finishing Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. And it exclusively says in the title of this video, Scott McTominay at the double for Manchester United. Thank God for Scott McTominay. Without his 2 goals this evening, Manchester United would not win this game. Man United would end up either losing or drawing to Chelsea. But Scott McTominay at the double for United, which was a huge, huge win, with results going Manchester United's way, with teams around us also dropping points. It's been a good day for Manchester United. And I think today, that Manchester United performance, for me, was absolutely fantastic. Today, I could not fault the determination, the courage, the passion and the heart Manchester United put into that performance today. That was Manchester United at their very, very best. A lot more energy, a lot more enthusiasm, and with a certain few key players being dropped from the first team, Manchester United looked completely reborn. They looked completely rebirthed. And I think for me, I've watched the whole game. I've watched the whole 90 minutes. And I think for me, Manchester United today absolutely deserved the 3 points. They deserved the win against a Pochettino team in Chelsea that absolutely shambles. I mean, I cannot believe how bad Chelsea Football Club actually are. It is an absolute laughingstock how bad Chelsea perform under Mauricio Pochettino. Their style of play, their football they're playing, and the amount of golden opportunities that they threw away against us tonight absolutely thwarted Chelsea in their attempt to beat Manchester United. But you've got to really thank the 2 goals we scored today to get you Manchester United over the line. But it was an absolutely fantastic performance. Like, the energy seemed back. Manchester United looked hungry for the game. The players looked up for the match today as well, which was very, very important. It just looked like Manchester United were back to their good old days of attacking, free-flowing football that Chelsea simply could not deal with. Like the threats of Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund and Antony, Chelsea simply could not handle the pressure that was being put on their back four, as well as their goalkeeper and Davinson Sanchez. Like, Chelsea's defending made Manchester United's performance a lot more easier to the eye than what it said on paper. Like, that back four of Chelsea, you've got Levi Colwill, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, and whoever played at left back for Chelsea today. Like, how shambolic their defending is so clear to the naked eye that Mauricio Pochettino has got this Chelsea team horribly, horribly wrong. Like, I think where Manchester United took full advantage of this from today was the changes in the midfield, the changes into the attack of our team, and also changes in our back four as well. Like, it was very clear to see today that, Ten Hag went with something a little bit different from what we're usually expecting. And certain players that have been underperforming in the United team recently have absolutely deservedly been dropped. Like, Martial was dropped today. Marcus Rashford was dropped today. And I thought, for me, if I'm going to be really, really honest now, that Man United performance as a whole, Manchester United play a lot better without both of them. And that might sound really, really harsh, but the whole performance from the minute 1, it just looked like Man United were up for it. Like, clearly, Martial and Marcus Rashford are holding Manchester United back. Clearly, both players here offer nothing to Manchester United going forward. And I think having both of them out of the team, that, both of them have been massively underperforming in the last few United games. Like, you take both of them in that Man United team today, and Man United looked like on the front foot. We were absolutely attacking Chelsea's goal with every attack we had. The midfield domination was there again today, which was a lot better. And the defence did look a lot secure. It really, really did. And I was quite shocked by the performance there, because after what happened at Newcastle, it looked like Manchester United would struggle to beat Chelsea. I wasn't feeling very confident headed in today's game. I was feeling very concerned, not very positive, and I was lacking a lot of confidence if Man United were going to beat Chelsea. But the 2 goals today has really, really helped us get over the line. Like, we dominated the first half. Man United were absolutely on it like a car bonnet. They were absolutely thwarting Chelsea's goal of opportunity after opportunity and after opportunity. And I think Chelsea's back four's horrendous. And like I said, like when you're playing Cucurella at right back, when he's a left back, clearly didn't help Chelsea going forward. And I think Levy Colwell, he's a very, very good centre-back for Chelsea. That when you've got an aging Thiago Silva in the Chelsea back four, it is not going to help Chelsea defend. They are going to concede a lot of goals. And the age, unfortunately, is no longer on Chelsea's side for Thiago Silva. And if I was Mauricio Pochettino heading into that Chelsea dressing room at full time, I would be angry. I would be frustrated with the charisma Chelsea came to Old Trafford with. And I felt like from the team sheet, we would win this game. Like, it was very, very clear to see that Ten Hag was not going to be messing about today. And I think certain players, have been letting the side down. And obviously, there's 2 certain Man United players in the first team who have been leaking information to the media and the press about Manchester United's problems on and off the pitch. And obviously, Ten Hag has probably taken those 2 key players out today. And without both of them, Man United looks so much better. Like, I've been saying this going forward, Manchester United need a really youthful attacking three. And I think today, Garnacho, Højlund and Antony were absolutely superb. Like, the amount of opportunities they had on Chelsea's goal, Chelsea couldn't cope. Chelsea did not know how to keep those 3 out. Like, it was attack after attack after attack. I mean, the amount of opportunities Garnacho caused Chelsea, the amount of shots he had on Chelsea's goal was causing them a lot of problems. Chelsea simply couldn't get out their own half. And that was due to the high pressure ability of Rasmus Højlund's ability to bring the ball down in the back, in front of the back four. You have Antony's pace on the right wing with his left foot, and then you've got Garnacho on the left with his right foot. And every attack Man United went forward with, it was either Garnacho, Højlund or Antony that were creating the most opportunities. Like in the first half, I think for me, if Chelsea would have played a lot weaker team, this could have been done in the first half. Like the opportunities Manchester United had. And it was a bit disappointing. Like you go 1-0 up, and Scott McTominay is a very, very unlikely goal scorer. And against Newcastle, he did go massively invisible, more invisible than trying to find rabbit shit in a pack of Maltesers. But today, I saw a completely different Scott McTominay. Like we were tracking back, we were defending as a team, we were attacking as a team. Like I've not seen that type of energy from Man United all season. I do wonder, like, is it something holding them back? Has something not been working with the tactics, awareness to try and get a bit more pressing onto the opposition, or have we just been holding back a little bit? But today, I'm absolutely amazed we've won 2-1 because the amount of opportunities like we had, like Garnacho could have scored in the first half. I think the obvious penalty decision that was given against Enzo Fernandes for Chelsea with that disgusting tackle on Antony, it is a clear, obvious penalty to Manchester United, and the referee and VAR have got it absolutely spot on. It is a clear and obvious penalty. But I thought, we've got a penalty now. Let's try and get that 1-0 lead early. Let's build on that, try and go into halftime 2-0 up and maybe find a third to kill Chelsea off. And it didn't happen today due to the fact that the penalty kick from Bruno Fernandes, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is very clinical from the penalty spot. And, he's one of my favourite players here. He is our captain of our club. But his penalty today, like, I've never seen a worse penalty in all my life. Like, all of a sudden, Bruno Fernandes has brought back in these little bunny hops before he gets to the ball to put the ball in the back of net. And he makes a really awful decision to do a very, very slow bunny hop up to the ball and then tries to, lace it past Davinson Sanchez. And Davinson Sanchez, to his full credit, has absolutely saved the penalty at very, very clear ease. And I thought, that was going to really derail everything. But after that, it was still constant Manchester United pressure. It's like Chelsea were creating their own downfall. I mean, the amount of possession they were conceding in that midfield three through Caicedo and Enzo Fernandes. Like, honestly, they're two of Chelsea's best players in that midfield and are both very, very clinical in their positions that they play for their club and even their country as well. But today, the amount of possession that Chelsea just kept giving Manchester United, loose passes, loose balls, loss of possession. Chelsea was so wide open. It was amazing. Like, I can't believe the negative style that, Pochettino, he got sacked at Tottenham for this. And again today, Chelsea have been exposed by Pochettino's horrible tactics. Chelsea were wide open. Like, it could have easily been 4-5-0 in the first half because Man United kept pressing Chelsea's goal. And that was due to the fact that Chelsea's midfield is absolutely nowhere to be seen. Like, I look at that Chelsea midfield, I look at Enzo Fernandes, I look at Caicedo, and I thought today, and I looked at Man United midfield, and I was quite concerned. Like, you've got Scott McTominay, Amrabat, and Bruno Fernandes. I was quite concerned by that midfield because I'm thinking, why is Kobbie Mainoo not starting? Obviously, we've still got no Eriksen, still got no Mount, still got no Casemiro. And I looked at the Chelsea midfield and it contained Enzo and Caicedo. And I was concerned that that Chelsea midfield was going to run rings around United because I thought there's a lack of performance from McTominay. Amrabat has been limited for game time. And Bruno Fernandes really went completely missing against Newcastle. And I was worried that the Newcastle result was going to be hanging over Manchester United, and I was wondering how we could be able to dominate this game today and get the result from. But today, it was the complete opposite. Man United were walking over Chelsea's midfield. It was just the amount of intensity that Erik ten Hag put into that team today. And I think after Newcastle, I think ten Hag, you saw the rumours during this week that the players are turning on him. The players are not happy. There's two certain players leaking stuff to the press and then the media. Certain journalists are then being banned from Manchester United's press conferences in Samuel Luckhurst, Carve Solokol. Very, very well respected journalists in their field. And all the question marks this week has been Ten Hag job's in crisis. Ten Hag's not going to last. Ten Hag is going to be sacked. Ten Hag is the problem. Ten Hag is Man United's downfall. You've heard that all fucking week. And the journalists that have been suspended have had every right to report what they have, but clearly have been getting it massively, massively wrong, reporting negatives and false information about Erik ten Hag that is completely and utterly incorrect. And I think today that Man United team have probably looked at the social media because they all have phones, they will check their socials, and they're all going to look at themselves and they're thinking, right, well, we've seen all this. We kind of need to turn this sinking ship around because if we lose today, we are going to get absolutely crucified by the press. We'll get crucified by the media. And we're going to head into the next game even under more pressure if we do not find a result against Chelsea. And I think as soon as we started, the team were really, really fired up. And it surprised me because I'm questioning, where was this on Saturday? Like, why have we not seen this Man United performance in other games this season? Why have we not seen this same intensity in certain other matches? Like, we didn't see this against the promoted three. We didn't see this against Man City. We didn't see this against Copenhagen. We didn't see this against Newcastle. And it was, our games this season have been very, very up and down. But it just looked like Manchester United today really knew what they were doing. And I think today, like, clinically, like, you're worried by certain players being dropped. You're worried that replacements coming in for them are going to massively derail things. Then you're worried that United aren't going to be able to cope with the amount of changes that Ten Hag's made. But today got it absolutely spot on. Like, I could not applaud Erik ten Hag tactically today. Absolutely on it. Like, today we exposed how bad Chelsea Football Club actually are. Like, I can't stand their fans. I can't stand their supporters. They're all right up their own ass thinking they're back and are a great club again. But when you've got a club like Chelsea, when you've got an owner like Ted Bowley that is chucking money at Chelsea left, right and centre to try and put in players to make Chelsea an even more influential team in the Premier League. That performance today clearly stated that Chelsea have got no clue how to operate against a top 6 club. And I think, appointing Pochettino as Chelsea manager was a disgrace. Like, you look at Chelsea, you look at his Tottenham record against the other top 6 clubs, and you're questioning why the hell has Ted Bowley gone anywhere near Pochettino? That is because Chelsea really didn't want Poch. They wanted another manager from the Eredivisie. Chelsea owners couldn't get him, and they ended up going up with Pochettino because they thought it'd be the best realistic option to give them the Chelsea job. But at the moment, Chelsea today, it was just defensively horrifying, defensively embarrassing. And I think for me, when you've got the quality of Raheem Sterling in that team, Micah Mudryk, Nicholas Jackson, Enzo Fernandes, Caicedo, Thiago Silva, Colwill, even Cucurella at certain aspects has been okay for Chelsea. But when you are constantly rotating the team every week and changing the formation and changing players in and out of position every game, that Chelsea team have got no identity. It's got no clue how to play. And I think, Pochettino really, really deployed a defensive style of play today. And I think Man United realised that Chelsea were there for the taking. And I think for me, that is why we played so well. Like, I was worried with Scott McTominay was starting. I was worried that why Mainoo ain't playing it did concern me. But today, I think, the midfield was a lot more influential. Like, I know I said that, I don't rate Scott McTominay. I don't think he offers for Manchester United anything going forward. I think Manchester United are a better club today, but he took both his goals very, very well today. In the first half, he gives us a lead through, a Harry Maguire shot that has been saved. Obviously, McTominay takes it with his right foot, switches his left, and he bangs it in the bottom left-hand corner of Sancho's net. And then in the second half, again, another massive influential header to get United eventually the 3 points to get us across the line at Old Trafford this evening. And I think for me, he's got to be a contender for man of the match today as well for getting those 2 goals to help United win this game today. And I think for me also, I look at the very other key aspects of this team. I was very, very impressed with Amrabat. There's been massive questions and there's been massive doubts over Sofyan Amrabat's quality. What does he offer Manchester United? Is there going to be a move in January? Are Manchester United going to get rid of Amrabat? And I think today Amrabat has silenced a lot of critics, a lot of pundits, a lot of the press. That Amrabat was absolutely so solid at CDM. You're worried when you lose Casemiro, you're worried when you lose Eriksen, and you're worried that when you lose Mount, and you've only got really Amrabat to do the CDM role. But today, how solid he was playing in that role, it made Casemiro look very, very bang average. And I thought today that Amrabat really, really does offer something going forward for Manchester United. And I think for me today, he was a very, very key asset in that midfield, because that midfield battle could have been won. It could have been lost in both ways if you're not playing well. But Amrabat was so solid today. And I think for me, he deserves even more of a chance in the first team now. After today, I think Amrabat deserves a bit more game time, because today he did not make one mistake. He did not. And I think for me, having Scott McTominay in front of you and Fernandes, it made Amrabat's job a lot more easier, which I was really surprised about, because you're thinking you've got Scott McTominay and Fernandes is your midfield, 2 centre attacking mids in front of the CDM. And you're worried that is Amrabat going to be able to hold that back four in place? Is he going to be able to keep the Chelsea a threat out? And is he really going to be able to do the job for the whole 90 minutes? And today, solid as a rock. He was massively, massively underrated, Amrabat. And again, one of my favourite players. This guy knows how to do a job in the CDM role. And I think today, he was so key to Man United's defensive. Not yet. He was so key, and I'm impressed. Give the guy some credit. He waited all summer for the move to Manchester United. He got his dream move, and he's now playing for our club. And today, solid. I've not seen that for years. I've not seen that since the days of Casemiro. Obviously, he's out to the new year. We're going to have to live with it. But today, Amrabat has really sorted a problem. A problem that has been a problem for so many Manchester United managers. Amrabat today deserves a massive never credit for potential man of the match, because today he just didn't make one mistake. He did not make one error. And I think today his passing ability, he doesn't panic on the ball. He doesn't panic off the ball. He fights back for the ball. He puts in a good tackle here and there to win the possession back. We don't see that from anyone else. And I think for me, that has been very, very key. And again, like I said, he's in for another shout of the man of the match contender from me. And I think also there is another really two key players again that I could put man of match with Amrabat and Mctominay. Like today, like, you know, our front three again, it's going to be questions. There's going to be, we're still lacking goals. We are still lacking a clinical striker to put the ball in the net. We are still lacking a Rasmus Højlund Premier League goal, and I get that. But today, like, it doesn't really feel like Rasmus Højlund was a big problem, because he did have Antony on the right and Garnacho on the left to help him. Because today we have been very, very critical of United's wingers. Don't put balls into the box. They don't offer any threat going forward or trying to get into the opposition's penalty area. They don't create enough chances. They don't create enough opportunities. But I think today, Antony and Garnacho are another two main contenders for Man of the Match award. And I say that because whenever Antony got the ball forward and Garnacho got the ball forward, Chelsea were absolutely bricking it. They could not cope with Antony and Garnacho's pace. They were absolutely shitting their pants. They couldn't cope with the pace that both the United wingers offer this club. Like Chelsea today, this is Chelsea's big problem, right? They don't have that typical winger like we've got in both players. Like Antony today, obviously, he's had a bit of an up and down season. Stuff is going on in his personal life outside of football that obviously it's really, really not helping things. But today, again, Antony is starting to turn things around. Like, I think for me, this is a player that has got huge potential to be world class. And I think for me, his skills are back. His pace with the ball is back. His tracking back when he loses the ball is back. Something in Antony has massively regenerized him. Like, I don't know what it is, but Antony looks reborn again in a Man United shirt. And that has been missing for how many weeks? Like, we've been saying it for so many games this season. Where is Antony? Where does Antony go fit in this team? Does Antony have a future here? There was even talks of a January loan move to Flamengo back in Brazil. But obviously, I think all that aside, Antony has got through this. Antony is fully back to his best. And I think for me, more the merrier, because he was going past those Chelsea back four like it wasn't even hard. Like, again, when you're not playing a traditional left back at left back and you're switching both your right backs and left backs around at Chelsea more than playing the Monopoly game board, you look at Chelsea. That was Chelsea's major key downfall today. I think this is why Chelsea got it massively, massively wrong, because they don't have Ben Chilwell, not like he's any good anyway. They got Cucurella, who is a left back by trade, is being played at right back by Poch for some strange, invalid reason. And then you've got Levi Colwill, who's got a lack of experience at centre back, and then you've got an aging Thiago Silva, who's not got many years left in him. You would have thought, to stop Antony's pace and the threat on the right wing, Chelsea would have deployed a traditional left back at left back to cause a non-problem. That was a major, major sticking point for Chelsea all game long. Man United targeted that left back position because they did not worry Cucurella wasn't there. They were not panicking, even though I did want Cucurella at Manchester United. And people are going to still say, he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough. He ain't good enough. Cucurella today, that was on Pochettino. I'm really sorry. I did feel sorry for him, because the reason I say I feel sorry for him is because if you're at Chelsea and you're a left back and you're being deployed at right back, you've then got to question what the fuck's the manager doing when you're playing a non-traditional left back at left back who doesn't play there. But I'm a left back. I've got to question the manager's authority. I've got to question, really, what the fuck's he doing? Because at the end of the day, if this goes wrong and I'm not playing there, I could have kept half these problems out from Anthony. And I think Cucurella is a very, very good player, by the way. Like, I just don't think it's worked at Chelsea. Like, he didn't want to go to Chelsea. He wanted to go to Manchester City and play under Pep Guardiola. And look how it's turned out for Cucurella now. He's basically stuck at Chelsea because of Man City's failure to fucking sign him. And they could have done with Cucurella in that team. So I think for me, Chelsea's back four was the major downfall. I'm really sorry, but whole game long, they could not deal with Anthony on the right wing because they didn't have Cucurella there. If they had Cucurella there, this would have been a different story. And this game might not have ended in a United win. It could have ended in a Chelsea win. It could have ended as a draw. Chelsea could have got a point today. When Chelsea got that equaliser, I was concerned because what happened there is we lost the midfield battle and Diego Dalot was trying to close down the opportunity in the Chelsea attack from that run of play. Diego Dalot goes with a non-challenge, doesn't even try to win the ball back. Mudryk has put in a beautiful, beautiful through ball to Cole Palmer, who has got the absolute world at his feet. Cole Palmer is a world-class player. I don't understand why Man City let him go. Because I think now you look at Man City, you've just lost to Villa. You couldn't beat Wolves. You couldn't beat Tottenham. You've now gone 4 games without a win. That does not happen at Man City. Aston Villa, Liverpool and Arsenal are all above Man City. You wouldn't have said that this season. Spurs are now level on points with Man City. United, if they win on Saturday against Bournemouth, we leapfrog Man City up into 4th. Man City have got rid of Gundogan, Mahrez, Laporte, Cole Palmer. They have not replaced their key ingredients to that Man City treble defence. At this time, that treble defence looks like the biggest flop in English football because if Man City don't defend any of these 3 titles, this is going to look like the biggest laughing story ever, that Man City have gone from football heaven to winning the treble now to looking like what the fuck's this season turned into. Like, Man City look like a right mess again. Like, people are looking at us saying we've got problems. I would be going to looking at Man City's problems now. You can't beat Wolves. Pathetic. You can't beat Spurs. Embarrassing. You can't beat Villa. Embarrassing. Like, that is why I rated Cole Palmer at Man City. And what annoyed me today is that Cole Palmer has been allowed to go unchallenged all game, really. Cole Palmer is, for me, Chelsea's best player at this moment in time. And I really, really rate him, by the way. I think he's got huge potential. Man City have let him go because they didn't want to give him first-team football, which is selfish, by the way. You then look at it today. The through ball for Mudryk's been his best move all game because Mudryk has absolutely bottled 2 huge opportunities, not just to get Chelsea level, but to put Chelsea in front. And I rate Mudryk. I really do, but he's playing under a bad manager in bloody Pochettino. And I think for me today, the through ball play for Mudryk was the best move of the game. To get that ball to Cole Palmer the way he did, to slip Cole Palmer in. But what then annoys me then is Bruno doesn't trap back, Amrabat doesn't trap back, and nor does Mctominay. What happens here is Luke Shaw's out of position, Lindelof and Maguire, let's talk about them again, and then Dalot. I've said this about this United all season long. Defensively, Manchester United are bloody shocking. Like, the way Cole Palmer has been allowed to go unchallenged, no one puts a tackle in, no one tries to win the ball back, and no one tries to defend the shot that he puts in. He's allowed to have a free shot on goal. But what annoys me the most is, and I'm going to demonstrate this, right? Harry Maguire has turned like this, right? He's turned like this to try and keep his hands out of the way of the ball, just in case the ball hits his hands. And then Lindelof then does the same and then goes that way with the ball again. While Cole Palmer's attacking, not a goal. He goes like this, right? What annoys me then is it's a weak shot. It has not got no power, no finesse on it. What annoys me about the shot is And again, another fault by Andre Onana. Let's talk about this again. 60 million for a goalkeeper that was brought in to replace the legend that David De Gea will always be at Manchester United. David De Gea did have problems last season. Didn't concede as many goals as Onana has this season. That is now 34, 35 goals already. And we're not even at the end of December yet. Like, the shot that Cole Palmer has, like I said, there's no power, there's no finesse, and there's no way I'm thinking this is going in. For me, Onana's positioning in goal, I think he's got no chance of saving this due to the fact that he doesn't think Cole Palmer's going to shoot. He doesn't think he's going to try and shoot from the way he was by Lindelof and Maguire were. And then I thought, there's no way he's going to shoot. I thought he was going to try and take all of them on, run into the United penalty and put a ball into the box for one of their strikers and midfielders to get in on the end of. But Cole Palmer shoots. And Onana has been, again, left completely blindsided by the Chelsea shot from Cole Palmer as a whole. And the ball has rolled under his hands. And I'm going mad at this time thinking, how the fuck's he not saved this? How the hell has this ended up in the back of the net? Onana dives way too early. He dives way too early to try and keep the Chelsea shot out at the back of his net because Cole Palmer's unleashed a shot early and Onana's dived way too early and the ball has rolled under his hand. Like, if that's David De Gea in goal, he keeps that ball out the net. So again, from United's point of view, they're going to be frustrated that they've conceded the goal. They're going to realise we have absolutely battered Chelsea. We've battered them more than fish from the fish and chip shop and more than a battered sausage, a jumbo battered sausage. And they're going to realise we've absolutely destroyed them in the first half. Look at the opportunities we are having on Chelsea's goal. Look at the goals we could have scored. This game could have been over by half-time. And United are then licking their wounds because you've conceded a goal and you've defended quite well and you've been absolutely brutal on the attack through Garnacho and Anthony. Rasmus Højlund has gone missing again. That is a bloody concern, don't get me wrong. But to concede such a poor equaliser like that defensively, again, it's just, I don't understand. Again, I'm going to demonstrate. Why do we turn like this when we're trying to defend a shot from an opposition player? Why are we turning like this? You need to be standing like a giant and defending your area, defending your net. And we seem to turn away every time a player has a shot on United's goal. And I think we need to stop that because we are conceding way too many goals. That equaliser, I went at half-time when I needed a drink and a toilet break. I'm thinking, what the... Same old United, same old story. I was wondering, this is going to be more points dropped and it's going to be another major frustration on a Wednesday evening, especially when you're really thinking that United are going to keep that 1-0 lead, go into the second half and finish Chelsea off. And again, we came out the second half, same intensity, same pressure on the goal. Chelsea, again, just can't cope when teams are attacking them. Like, they cannot cope when a big threatening team comes onto them. They can't cope, Chelsea. And I think for me as a whole, Chelsea are just at 6s and 7s tactically, defensively. They haven't got no clinical striker. Like, Nicholas Jackson is terrible. Like, you paid all that money from Villarreal for a B-Tech bloody... Think of a really shit Premier League striker. You've basically gone and signed a really, really B-Tech Wilfred Bonny in Nicholas Jackson, hoping he's going to provide the goals what Chelsea need to win this game. Everyone hypes Nicholas Jackson up just because of the hat-trick he scored against Spurs, and all of a sudden they think he's great again. Nicholas Jackson is the answer for Chelsea's goal-scoring problems. Like, no. No. Again, he has an opportunity to get Chelsea on the equaliser. A beautiful through ball is put through to Sterling. And United have got a 2-against-1 situation. Sterling plays the ball to Nicholas Jackson. And horrifically, which is going to really fuck some Chelsea fans off tonight, before he has a shot on goal, and he's on one-on-one with Onana. You're thinking he's either going to chip this, he's either going to go round Onana, he's going to go to the left of him or the right of him, or he's going to slot it underneath him. There's many, many options. But what Nicholas Jackson decides to erotically do is, basically, he decides to take a really stupid heavy touch and basically then has the shot that Onana's already come out of the penalty area and has slammed the ball away with his chest to keep Chelsea out. So Chelsea had so many chances, like in behind still United, it is still not good enough. Like when a ball is put in behind our back four, United are nowhere to be seen. That's going to concern me. That will concern Ten Hag because defensively, again, this back four is shit. Like, I've said this, like, how many times? Like, Maguire ain't good enough. Lindelof ain't good enough. Luke Shaw ain't good enough. Dalot ain't good enough. Like, you need a really, really strong back four. And defensively today, the amount of times Chelsea managed to get beyond all four of them, that's a worry because you're thinking, there's 5 minutes to go here. There's going to be an opportunity for Chelsea right late at the end. And Brozier, who's come on for Chelsea, has done more in 90 minutes than what Nicholas Jackson's done in his old bloody Chelsea career and has hit the post. And you're thinking, thank God that stayed out. And then Chelsea then get the ball to Reece James in the box. And thankfully, he's fired massively over the Onana's goal. The opportunity he had on like the United penalty area. And you're thinking, United are making this look a lot harder than what it is. And I think for me that United need to, really start being a bit more defensively minded about the amount of opportunities they are conceding. Like, you can't keep doing this, like, because otherwise you're going to get found out and defensively you're going to concede a lot more goals. So I think today we were clinical, like we were fantastic. Like, I'm not going to fault the intensity and the pressure we put onto Chelsea because we absolutely battered them. Like, I was concerned about this game and I was worried that we were going to lose or even draw. But today it's like, okay, we need to do this every game now. We need to do the same pressure and the same intensity against every other team we play now. We need to keep this up because I think for me now, if you can play like that against Chelsea, you can be like that against anyone. Like, United have got a huge opportunity to turn this season around now. Newcastle, it was embarrassing. I think it was a blip. I think realistically now you're going to have to look at it and thinking, maybe, Ten Hag has loosened the toughening strings. Maybe he's been a bit more sympathetic, or maybe he's read the right act because today you didn't see this against Newcastle. Man United got wiped to the floor by them. Like, we were shit. Like, I couldn't believe how bad we were. But today against Chelsea, like, I look at this Chelsea team and there's some good players. There are some fantastic players at Chelsea Football Club. But as a football club as a whole, Ted Boehly has come in and has made Chelsea worse. Like, I wish I had an owner like Ted Boehly at Manchester United. I would love that because spend a shitload of money and buy some world-class players that you think are going to be the answer to United's problems. But at Chelsea, he's come in and has spent 800, nearly 900 million in 2 transfer windows. And you look at that Chelsea team and you think to yourself, where's that 900 million? Like, we were wiping the floor with them. Like, I couldn't believe how easy the midfield battle was. I couldn't believe how the attacking opportunities that Chelsea back four let us have on their goal. Like, and also, like, Davinson Sanchez is a goalkeeper for Chelsea. You've gone from Kepa, Arrizabalaga to Davinson Sanchez from Brighton. Like, I know he was good for Brighton, which he was, and he put in some really good performances for Brighton and Albion. But since Chelsea have brought him in, Chelsea all of a sudden are trying to play out the back and trying to play out the back to get on the counter-attack a lot quicker. United didn't let them. United was swarming onto them like a pack of bloody white sharks chasing a human. Fresh meat. Like, you might as well put the jaws out for them on. Dun, 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 dun. You might as well put the jaws out for them on because Chelsea trying to play out the back with Davinson Sanchez in goal. is a bloody disaster waiting to happen. Like, they concede possession so sloppily. It is embarrassing. And that was the whole game for Chelsea. They made this win for United so damn easy. Like, I always thought it was going to be a tougher game. I really, really thought United were going to be backs against the wall. We're going to have to defend, like almightily defend. We're going to have to try and counter Chelsea on the counter-attack, and we're going to have to go for a late winner. But I think, today it was thankful from 2 Scott McTominay goals. I think without those 2 goals, United don't win this game. I know people, are going to say you've absolutely crucified Scott McTominay. And, justifiably, like, he's been shit in so many games. But today, like, thank God he was at the double to win us the game. Like, you've got to be thankful that United have created 2 opportunities for McTominay to find the back of the net. And I don't think anyone around us would have said Scott McTominay is going to be the first goal scorer. Scott McTominay is going to be the answer today. I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that in a million years. I would not have said today that Scott McTominay is going to be the answer for United wins. Honestly, today I thought it's going to be a tough game. We'll be lucky if we win 1-0. I went for 2-0. Like, I honestly thought it could have been more because United were just dominating the first half. Like, they were all over them. We were swarming over them like a pack of bees chasing a massive, massive field of plants with all that nectar for their honey. Like, United made Chelsea look bang fucking average. Like, it was so funny and exhilarating to see Chelsea Football Club are in the fucking mud again. Chelsea Football Club are in the fucking mud. Honestly, they think they turned this around against Brighton at the weekend. You have just been exposed. Absolute shocking manager, shocking tactics, poor, crap, embarrassing football. No wonder Chelsea got desperate for Pochettino. I remember when people said, well, you wanted Pochettino at Manchester United. You thought he was going to be the next big thing. You honestly thought you were going to take United to the title. I never wanted Pochettino. I wanted Ten Hag. And today, that was a Ten Hag masterclass. That was what Man United could do when they put heavy pressure and heavy amounts of opportunities and threats on the opposition goal. United still need to be clinical. I still think there is still massive room for improvement. There are still a few key areas that do need to be tightened up just a little bit. And I think Man United can turn this season around, but I'm not going to jump to the conclusions. I'm not going to jump ahead of myself. I'm going to take it one game at a time. It's a huge win, though, because, Aston Villa beat Man City today. Didn't expect that by full time at 11 o'clock tonight. Like, you didn't expect that. So it's been today and this week has actually been a good week for United. Like, the only team to win around us, well, few is Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, Brighton. Brighton aren't anywhere near us. Newcastle haven't played yet. Spurs haven't played yet. If they slip up tomorrow with their games, this could end as a good week because United are now going to head into that Bournemouth game at the weekend on Saturday afternoon with a lot more confidence, a lot more positivity, and they're going to look at that Chelsea game thinking, if we can do that against Chelsea and like Bournemouth again tonight against Crystal Palace, they've beat them 2-0 at Selhurst Park, another result you don't expect. So there is going to be a massive preview Friday for that game for Saturday afternoon. But I think if we can play like this against Chelsea, we could rip Bournemouth apart Saturday. Like, I've always stated that AFC Bournemouth are going to be a long-term Premier League club again, and they're going to stay out comfortably under this manager. And Bournemouth now have gone nearly 4, 5, 6, 7 games unbeaten. That is a massive, massive turnaround from a Bournemouth side that were really battling to get out the bottom 3. Now look at them. Above Forest. Like, you've got to give them credit. They're only 3 or 4 points off Chelsea. Like, it's not going to be an easy game now Saturday because Bournemouth's confidence is going to be there. And the football they're playing, like, they've got a point against Villa, who are competing for top 4 on Sunday. And then they've gone and beat Palace 2-0 away tonight. Like, that is not easy for Bournemouth. You don't really see a Bournemouth team going to Palace and winning. But, it's going to be interesting preview Friday when we do that game for United's home game against AFC Bournemouth on Saturday afternoon for match day 16 of the 23-24 Premier League season. But I think we're going to end on a positive note that I think I've got to give 4 players man of the match tonight. You've got to give it to Scott McTominay for the 2 goals. You've got to give it to Anthony and Garnacho for both of their threats on the left and the right wing. And I think you've got to give it to Amrabat as well. I mean, today, That is Sofyan Amrabat. This is what he can do in a United shirt. This is the player we've been missing for years. Like, he had such an unlucky Europa Conference League final defeat to West Ham last season. We've brought him in and he's made such a difference. Like, what a player. Like, seriously, what a player we have got in Sofyan Amrabat. So, that's my man of the match. It's going to 4 players because how well we played tonight. So, I hope you enjoyed the match reaction. Hit the like button, the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always know to put the notification bell on as well at all times so you receive dedicated content right throughout the last few remaining days and the last few remaining weeks in 2023. We've got more previews, more match reactions, more F1 23, EA Sports FC 24 career mode with Manchester United, Luton Town and Wrexham. We've got more Rocket League Season 13 coming up. We've got more Fortnite, Chapter 5, Season 1 Underground. And then obviously, please join me for the Premier League preview on Friday afternoon for the Bournemouth game for Saturday afternoon. Join me for that. But Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. Huge win. Man United can still get top 4. We can still get Champions League football. And if we can play like that for the rest of the season, Man United are going to be absolutely fine. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.